Down here.
Yeah, as I was watching it, there was one scene where I was thinking, who's going to take him serious when he was being so crazy like that? And then immediately, then I stopped and said, wait a minute, let's think about our past. And who do we think about when we think about artists? And who do we, think are such great artists?
Yeah.
So was that part of him, from you filming him?
Yeah.
Is that part of what he's going for? Because I was like, wait a minute, is it going to be when he's gone? Are we going to look back?
So you're saying it was he being crazy to play the role of an artist?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to cut my ear off or something? Okay.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because we didn't make it in the movie because there was a point where we were going to have much more commentary about that idea of artists and how much is a real thing and how much is persona.
Right.
And he makes a very interesting point about like Jackson Pollock. Here we think of Jackson Pollock as the very serious, intense artist, but there was a question like, would Jackson Pollock been as famous as he was if he wasn't as handsome as he was, or as masculine and intense as he was? I love Jackson Pollock. Don't get me wrong. I love his paintings, but it's interesting to ask that question. Would Dali have been as famous as he was if it hadn't been this crazy lunatic, or had Van Gogh been as famous as he was afterwards? If the notion of him cutting off his ear and being this like intense guy in a room by himself, or Warhol, any of these guys, that's kind of what Warhol brought up through his whole career, was like it's really about the celebrity is number one and the art is number two. It's the branding. And in some ways it's kind of a sad thing because you have these art schools that pump out art students now that come out with a brand. Like you've got to come out with your brand immediately or you're not going to make it, instead of just kind of like, go make art and then maybe you'll become a brand, So it's definitely, and it's something that I hope comes out in the sort of the subtext of the film.
Well, that's going to be it for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying so late. Michael Slanik, thanks very much. Appreciate it.